Jai Gurudev, let's explore the effects of fasting on hormonal health in more detail. Are there specific hormones that fasting significantly influences? Yes, fasting has a profound effect and impact on several key hormones. For instance, a study published in Obesity found that fasting can increase levels of human growth hormone HGH by up to 5 times, which plays a crucial role in fat metabolism and muscle growth. This hormonal shift can be particularly beneficial for individuals looking to improve their body composition. That's impressive. How does fasting affect insulin levels and sensitivity? Fasting is well known for its positive effects on insulin sensitivity. A study in diabetes demonstrated that alternate day fasting can significantly lower insulin levels and improve insulin sensitivity in participants. This is particularly relevant for individuals at risk of type 2 diabetes, as improved insulin sensitivity helps regulate blood sugar levels more effectively. What about fasting's influence on cortisol, the stress hormone? Fasting can help regulate cortisol levels. Research in psychoneuroendocrinology found that intermittent fasting can lower baseline cortisol levels, which may contribute to reduced stress and anxiety. By stabilizing cortisol. Fasting can foster a better overall mood and mental clarity. How does fasting impact thyroid function, which is vital for metabolism? There is an emerging evidence that fasting can influence thyroid hormone level. A study published in Endocrine Review suggested that short-term fasting might lead to temporary reductions in thyroxine levels while also promoting better thyroid responsiveness. However, long-term effects require more research to fully understand the implications for metabolic health. Are there specific fasting protocols that have been researched for their effects on hormone regulation? Yes, intermittent fasting, especially the 5:2 diet, has been extensively studied. A paper in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that this regimen can lead to improved hormone regulation, including insulin and leptin levels, contributing to weight management and overall metabolic health. Can you discuss the potential effects of fasting on reproductive hormones, particularly in women? Fasting can have varying effects on reproductive hormones. A study in nutrition research indicated that intermittent fasting may affect menstrual cycles and hormonal balance in women. It is crucial for women to approach fasting mindfully, as excessive calorific restriction can impact fertility and menstrual regularity. That's a vital point. Are there any insights into how fasting may support mental clarity and focus? Fasting is often associated with enhanced cognitive function. Research published in Neuroscience Letters suggests that fasting can improve concentration and memory by increasing the production of brain derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, which supports neuron health and synaptic plasticity. What are the potential long term cognitive benefits of fasting? Long term fasting practices may protect against neurodegenerative diseases. A study in cell metabolism indicated that caloric restriction can enhance neuroplasticity and may reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. This line of research is promising for developing preventive strategies for age related cognitive decline. As we consider the broader impacts of fasting, how do you see its role in chronic disease prevention? Fasting has significant potential in chronic disease prevention. A comprehensive review in Annual Review of Nutrition concluded that various fasting regimens can reduce the risk of obesity, cardiovascular disease, and type 2 diabetes. This aligns with the growing interest in lifestyle medicine as a means of preventing chronic diseases. With all these benefits, what common misconceptions about fasting would you like to address? One major misconception is that fasting is synonymous with starvation, which can lead to fear or reluctance to try it. In reality, fasting can be a structured and healthy practice that provides the body with a break from constant digestion, allowing for cellular repair and rejuvenation. Another misconception is that fasting is not sustainable. However, many people find it easier to maintain their traditional calorie restricted diets. That's an important clarification. What advice do you have for individuals who might be skeptical about fasting? I encourage them to approach fasting with an open mind and to try it out for themselves, starting with short fasting periods. Keeping a journal to track how they feel physically and mentally can help. It is also important to understand that fasting is a personal journey. What works for one person might not work for another. Listening to one's body and adapting the practice is key. Thank you for these insights. As we wrap up, what do you believe is the future direction of fasting research? I believe we will see more personalized fasting protocols tailored to individual health needs and lifestyles. As technology advances, we may also see more real time monitoring of metabolic responses to fasting through wearable devices. This could help refine fasting practices for optimal health outcomes. Thank you for sharing your expertise and insights on fasting. This has been an enlightening discussion. Thank you for having me. I hope this conversation encourages more people to explore the health benefits of fasting. Let's dive deeper into the relationship between fasting and weight management. What does the research say about fasting as a strategy for weight loss? Fasting has been shown to be an effective weight management strategy. A systematic review in obesity reviews concluded that various forms of intermittent fasting lead to significant reductions in body weight and fat mass. Many studies highlight that fasting helps reduce calorific intake while enhancing metabolic rates, which is crucial for weight loss. That's compelling. Can you elaborate on the psychological mechanisms behind weight loss during fasting? Fasting triggers several metabolic changes. A study published in Cell Metabolism revealed that fasting increases the levels of norepinephrine, which boosts fat burning. Additionally, fasting promotes the use of fat stores of energy by lowering insulin levels, which facilitates fat mobilization from adipose tissue. How does fasting affect hunger hormones, specifically ghrelin and leptin? Fasting can influence the balance of hunger hormones. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that intermittent fasting can lead to reduced levels of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and increased sensitivity to leptin, which signals satiety. This hormonal balance may help curb appetite and prevent overeating. That's interesting. Are there specific fasting regimens that are particularly effective for weight management? The 16 is to 8 method is often highlighted for its effectiveness. A study in nutrition and healthy aging 2016 found that participants practicing this regimen not only lost weight but also experienced improvements in metabolic markers such as insulin sensitivity and blood pressure. What about the psychological aspects of fasting and its impact on eating behaviors? Fasting can positively influence one's relationship with food. A study in appetite showed that individuals who practice intermittent fasting often reported a more mindful approach to eating, leading to better food choices and reduced emotional eating. This psychological shift can be crucial for long term weight management. Are there any specific challenges that people may face when starting a fasting regimen? Yes, challenges such as initial hunger, irritability, and fatigue can occur, especially in the early days of fasting. A paper in Frontiers in Nutrition noted that these symptoms often diminish as the body adapts to the new eating pattern. It is important for individuals to stay hydrated and ensure that they are eating nutrient dense foods during their eating windows. How can individuals prepare themselves for a successful fasting experience? Preparation is key. Gradually extending fasting periods can help the body adapt. Educating oneself about the various fasting methods and their benefits can also enhance motivation. Keeping a food journal and tracking physical and emotional responses can provide valuable insights and help individuals adjust their fasting practices. Let's talk about the role of hydration during fasting. What does the research say about its importance? Hydration is crucial during fasting. A study in clinical nutrition emphasized that adequate fluid intake can help manage hunger and support metabolic processes. Drinking water, herbal teas, and other non calorific beverages can aid in reducing the perceived difficulty of fasting. What should individuals be cautious about regarding refeeding after fasting? Refeeding is an important aspect to consider. A paper in Nutrition Journal highlighted that breaking a fast with heavy processed foods can lead to digestive discomfort and negate some benefits of fasting. It is advisable to start with light, nutrient dense foods and gradually reintroduce regular meals. Are there specific populations that should approach fasting with caution? Yes, certain groups should be careful. Pregnant and breastfeeding women, individuals with a history of eating disorders, and those with chronic health conditions like diabetes should consult healthcare providers before starting any fasting regimen. Personalized advice is essential to ensure safety and effectiveness. As we look ahead, what future research directions do you find most promising in the field of fasting? I see great potential in studying the long term effects of fasting on different populations, particularly older adults. Research on fasting's impact on mental health, specifically its role in anxiety and depression, is also promising. Additionally, exploring the interaction between fasting and genetic factors could lead to personalized fasting protocols for better health outcomes. Jai Gurudev, and thank you for sharing such wealth of knowledge. This conversation has been incredibly insightful. Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity to discuss fasting and its myriad benefits. I hope this information inspires others to explore fasting as a valuable tool for health and wellness. Let's delve into the emerging research on fasting and its effects on metabolic diseases. Are there specific studies that illustrate its potential benefits for conditions like type 2 diabetes. Yes, there is a compelling evidence. A study published in Diabetes Care 2020 found that individuals with type 2 diabetes who practice intermittent fasting showed significant improvements in glycemic control, insulin sensitivity, and body weight. These findings suggest that fasting can be an effective adjunct to conventional treatment for managing diabetes. That's promising. What mechanisms underlie these improvements in metabolic health? Fasting influences several key mechanisms. For instance, research in cell metabolism indicates that fasting reduces insulin levels and enhances insulin sensitivity. This allows cells to use glucose more effectively, which is crucial for managing blood sugar levels. Additionally, fasting can lead to reductions in fat mass, particularly visceral fat, which is linked to insulin resistance. Are there long term studies that support these findings? Yes, a long term study published in Obesity showed that participants who followed an intermittent fasting regimen for over a year maintained significant weight loss and improvements in metabolic markers, including HbA1c levels, which reflect average blood glucose over time. This underscores the potential of a fasting as a sustainable lifestyle change for metabolic health. How does fasting impact lipid profiles, particularly cholesterol levels? Fasting has been shown to improve lipid profiles significantly. A meta analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that various fasting regimens led to reductions in LDL cholesterol and triglycerides while increasing HDL cholesterol. These changes are beneficial for cardiovascular health and reducing the risk of heart disease. That's significant. What about the impact of fasting on inflammation? Fasting can reduce inflammation, which is a key factor in many chronic diseases. A study in Nutrition Reviews highlighted that intermittent fasting reduces markers of inflammation, such as C reactive protein CRP. By lowering inflammation, fasting may help mitigate the risk of diseases like cardiovascular disease and arthritis. Are there specific fasting protocols that have been particularly effective in reducing inflammation? Intermittent fasting, especially the 16 is to 8 method and alternate day fasting, has shown promising results. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry demonstrated that participants following these protocols experienced significant reductions in inflammatory markers, indicating their potential as anti inflammatory strategies. Let's discuss the psychological aspects of fasting. Are there studies that explore how fasting affects mood and mental health? Yes, fasting has been linked to improvements in mood and emotional well being. A study in Frontiers in Psychology found that individuals practicing intermittent fasting reported enhanced mood, reduced stress, and better cognitive performance. This may be due to hormonal changes, including increased serotonin levels during fasting periods. How does fasting influence stress resilience? Fasting can promote resilience to stress. Research in psychoneuroendocrinology showed that intermittent fasting can enhance the body's adaptive response to stresses by modulating the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, leading to more balanced cortisol levels and reduced anxiety. Are there any potential downsides or risks associated with fasting, particularly regarding mental health? While fasting can offer benefits, it may not be suitable for everyone. Individuals with a history of eating disorders or those prone to anxiety about food may find fasting challenging. A review in eating disorders highlighted that fasting could potentially trigger unhealthy behaviors in susceptible individuals, so a cautious approach is necessary. What strategies can individuals use to mitigate any potential negative effects of fasting? It is essential to adopt a balanced and flexible approach, starting with shorter fasting windows, prioritizing nutrient dense foods, and ensuring proper hydration can help. Mindfulness practices such as meditation or yoga can also support mental well being during fasting. Consulting a healthcare professional for personalized advice is highly recommended. As we wrap up, what message do you have for individuals considering fasting as a part of their health journey? Fasting can be a powerful tool for enhancing physical and mental health, but it is important to approach it mindfully and with awareness of your body's needs. Everyone's journey is unique, and what works for one person may not work for another. I encourage individuals to explore fasting within the context of a balanced lifestyle and to remain open to adjusting their practices based on their experiences and goals. Thank you for sharing your expertise and insights. This has been a deeply informative discussion on the multifaceted benefits of fasting. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope this conversation encourages more people to explore fasting and its potential benefits for their overall well being. Jai Gurudev.